Greetings and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about mental health and Second Life. May is Mental Health Month. I don't know why they give mental health, like a day or a month. It is every day of the year. It should be important every day of the year. Now, as many of you know, I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2017 when I returned to the States. I was diagnosed with major depression in 2010. Both of these were from my 16-year-long abusive marriage and also some childhood trauma as well. But I've always been transparent about my personal mental health, and I've always been an advocate for mental health through my experiences with my own mental health, experience in the professional side of things in 3 different countries. I am passionate about making others aware that mental health is a thing, it is real. Because you have a mental health issue does not make you weak, nor does it make you stupid. It does not make you automatically an invalid of a human, unable to live life how you would like to live. No, it does not. What can make a person with mental health experience a difficult life is not just the mental health issues themselves, but the actions or lack of actions or the lack of understanding from other people. You can't control what other people do or say, but you can control how you cope with them with the correct coping skills, with therapy, especially talk therapy, which does wonders for me personally. It will help you to be the own healer of your mental health, to know your triggers, to know how to use the coping tools correctly, to know when to step away, to know when to take a break, to know when you've reached your limit and that you don't have to continue beyond your limit. No one is really expecting that of you, right? You think that people are expecting that of you, but really they're not. Because the cold hard fact at the end of the day is that people on the outside of you, they're not in your head. Only you are in your head. And they will never, ever understand what you go through on a daily basis when it comes to your mental health. And it took me a long time to learn that. As a 46-year-old adult, I have learned quite a lot in the mental health aspect of things and Second Life. When you log into Second Life, most of us will log into Second Life, as a form of escape or, as a form to use as a creative outlet or to socialize or what have you. We all have our different reasons as to why we log on. Within the world of Second Life, you're still going to encounter the same things or near the same things as you would in the physical world when it comes to different personality types, different types of people, um, you know, mean people, nice people, all sorts of different people. You're still going to encounter those in Second Life. And those of us that use Second Life as a social outlet or as a way to practice our social skills, because it's difficult for us to do those things in the physical world, will often encounter more difficult experiences with other people in Second Life. Someone can say something to you and it affects you. It pisses you off. It makes you sad. It gets to you. And it's rather unexpected, especially if you have PTSD, and it is unpredictable. There is no cure for it. The only thing you could do is just learn how to cope and manage it. And that is a lot harder than just saying so, right? Things will surprise you. Things that you would never have thought that would affect you or hurt you, you won't know until it happens. And I'm not saying that those of us with mental health issues, diagnoses such as PTSD, I'm not saying that we're a lost cause or we're we're unable to be fixed. I'm not saying that at all. For us to manage and cope with all the things that we do based on our trauma, no trauma is bigger than the other. Trauma is trauma is trauma. It affects each of one of us differently. How we react to an abnormal situation, that is us acting normally. The fight, the flight, the freeze, that's part of our DNA. That's embedded to us. It is survival instinct. You will not fully know how which one you will do unless those situations present themselves. And even though Second Life is a virtual world, those similar situations can still present themselves. For example, if in the physical world you're trying to, cope with uh, low body image, low self esteem, or, some type of physical part of yourself that you don't like, weight or too skinny, or, you don't like your face or whatever, even in Second Life, you can, really be aware of such as well. And in Second Life, yes, we have the ability to use sliders to make our avatars look as how we want them to. We have that power. We don't have that power in the physical world, right? So even when you feel confident about your avatar, something can come along and affect you just as it would if it was the physical world. And that is nobody's fault. It's not your fault. That's not the ill mannered asshat that said whatever to you, right? It's not their fault. It simply is what it is. That is part, for me, that is part of the PTSD. Sometimes it's not as simple as what was said. It was like how it was said and the manner of which it was said. For other people, it could be a sound or an image or something along those lines. It could be something far out of right field that you would never imagine that would trip you up, that would trigger you. But when it does, it's like, ah, you feel like you've taken two steps back and you feel stuck. You feel like, well, I haven't improved at all. I can't cope with this. I'm back to where I was. And that itself is normal. That is a normal reaction. When it comes to mental health journey and Second Life, You have a lot more power than you would in the physical world. As in, you can ignore people, you can block people, and you can take a holiday from people. Just make yourself invisible. It's quite simple. You go into preferences, and in your privacy tab, you uncheck all the boxes. These boxes here. Show my profile info in search results. Uncheck it. Only friends and groups know I'm online. Uncheck it. Only friends and groups can call or IM me. Uncheck it. You can make your own healing bubble and yet not feel as though you have to run away from Second Life. If you rent, if you rent land, if you pay for your own land, or if you have some type of personal personal investment of enjoyment in Second Life, don't make other people uh, cause you to run from it. No, you just block those people out. It is the equivalent of taking the phone off the hook, right? Or turning your phone off in the physical world. You could just do that in the Second Life and still do your thing on your own in your own time without being bombarded with messages from other people. Are you okay? What's going on? Da 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 da. And when you have to constantly explain yourself, when you have to constantly express what happened, why you're upset, it can be risky because even though those people may be your friends, they may not totally understand, right? So that puts more pressure on you. But don't feel guilty. Don't feel obligated to tell the people, what happened, what you're feeling. Don't feel obligated. Just because someone asks you, are you okay? What happened? That necessarily does not mean that they actually want to know. And yeah, I know that sounds really cruel. That's life. That's how people are. And the only person that's going to look after you is you. Other people in Second Life and in the physical world may say, I've got your back. I will always look after you. Don't fall victim to that. Because you are the only protector and defender of your mental health. You're the only person that lives in your mind 24/7. No one can get in there and rearrange the brain wires or rearrange the mechanisms that help you to defend yourself, which is automatic. No one can fix that for you. It is down to you to advocate for a betterment of you and your mental health, to get professional therapy outside of Second Life. Realize that you are important to yourself. If you don't think that you're important to yourself, then your life will be absolute hell. Believe me on that. If you don't have a self identity of who you are to yourself, of what you are to yourself, then you're you're just a walking void among echoes and nightmares of society. And I know that sounds harsh, but you have to be able to know when to reach out to the correct professional people. No one in Second Life, your family and your support system in the physical world, there you go. But in Second Life, think twice. Think twice about it. That's all I wanted to say. Um, I know my words have been bold, maybe hurtful. I do apologize for that. That was not the intention. My only intention was to help you to understand that you've got to be real. You have got to be the one that is in charge of your mental health. You have got to be the one to learn how to defend yourself and your mental health, because no one will do it for you. No one, especially not in Second Life. In the physical world, you've got professionals, you've got different types of therapy. I'm not going to bring up the meds because I am not a medical expert, right? That's a you decision right there. But there is professional help out there outside of Second Life. I keep saying outside of Second Life for a reason. There are some places in Second Life where it it advertises, support, mental health, what have you. I highly do not recommend those places. No, I don't. As much of an advocate of mental health as I am, I do not recommend mental health support in Second Life because it's too much of a risk. I say that again based on experience. If you are struggling with your mental health and if you're unsure about it or if you don't, think it's a big deal, it is a big deal. At a certain point in your life, you just have to realize that, you know what? This is my life. I want to take control of my life. I don't want others to do it for me. I don't want others to influence my life choices or how I live my life or how I think of myself. You don't want to do that. Maybe this kind of uh, realism comes with age. I don't know. But at some point in your life, in a gist, you will become, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to get my own help because I need it for me. The things that you do for you are for you, no one else. I hope you've learned something. I hope this helped you. Feel free to leave comments down below. Um, Share what you want to share, say what you want to say. The only thing I ask is please just don't cuss. YouTube doesn't like that. Don't write out the cuss words. You know, expand your word choices, but by all means, you got something off your chest, you want to agree or disagree, just please don't cuss. Please do not swear. um, that's going to be it for me. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.